It's the professional MasterChef quarterfinal. These 4 talented chefs stood out in their heats. Now, they will be judged on 2 challenges designed to test them even further.
It feels amazing to be a quarterfinalist. Very stressful, but I'm really looking to push myself even further.
My confidence is high, but anything can go wrong. One muck up and you're out of the competition.
The MasterChef pressure is ridiculous, but pressure makes diamonds, and hopefully I can make a diamond today.
I've got the drive, I've got the passion. Let's get it done.
First, they will have to devise a dish from scratch, featuring 1 key ingredient.
You've delivered a massive dish with huge flavour.
Before cooking for 2 of the country's most discerning food critics.
I think that's just astonishing.
Only the best will earn a place in the semi-finals.
Here we are, quarter-finals round. These 4 chefs are really eager to make their mark.
We would love to see some fireworks in here today. Chefs, welcome to your quarter-final. You've all cooked some sensational food, but now we want to see you move up to the next level.
This is an invention test. Behind us, we have a beautiful selection of ingredients for you to choose from. We want you to create 1 sensational dish. And at the heart of it, we want to see the use of spices. It can be sweet, it can be savory. What we want to see is how you use these spices to enhance your dish. You have 10 minutes to choose your ingredients, and then 1 hour and 10 minutes to create your dish. Chefs, come up and select your ingredients.
As well as a vast spice rack, the chefs can choose additional ingredients from a larder that includes a selection of fish, meat, fruit, and veg.
I love it. It's really exciting. I work with spice a lot, so yeah, I'm hoping to showcase what I know.
I've got more than enough here to work with. It's a little bit overwhelming, so I'm trying to keep my head.
I would imagine they're going to go for the protein first and then work the spice around the dish. But I want to see imagination. I want to see them really stretch themselves. They've got chili, they've got ginger, they've got cardamom, they've got star anise, turmeric, paprika. These are spices that all of our chefs are familiar with. It's how they use them.
I don't want it to be too much going on with the spice, but it's going to be like a subtle flavour to bring the dish together.
I'm trying to keep it simple, so now I can get carried away.
There are many different ways to use the spices. They can be used to infuse, to marinate. Some spices need to be heated to release the aromas and the strength of them. I don't want to see everything covered in spice, but it has got to be a key component of their dish.
OK, chefs, your 10 minutes are now up. 1 exceptional dish, 1 hour and 10 minutes. Off you go.
Chef patron of a gastro pub, Dave, has proved he can carry off a huge workload, which also packs a punch with flavour.
I'm doing the competition, well, for myself to see how good I am, see how far I can push myself. I'm also doing it for my family. It's hard for them as well, me being in the kitchen all day. Obviously, they don't see me much. Hats off to them, because it's not easy being with a chef.
What ingredients have you taken?
I've got pork fillet with a spiced celeriac puree, little fondant potatoes, spiced chickpea dressing. What
spices are you going for?
I'm using cumin, that's in the celeriac. I've also got a little bit of my paste for my pork loin. I'm going to put some turmeric in it, garam masala, fenugreek.
Oh, OK, so
Yeah.
you're going to rub that on?
Yeah, I'm going to rub it. It's going to be like a rub. But, yeah, it's just putting it all together and trying something different. It's nerve-wracking because, obviously, I've only got a certain amount of time. So, yeah, I've just got to do a good job.
You're used to running around in 100 miles an hour, so, you know, you'll be done within half an hour.
I'm taking my time.
I like the sound of Dave's dish. Pork, loin, great piece of meat, and will work very well with the curry spices. I think the spices that you've chosen are very good. Quantity is the key to success. Making sure the celeriac puree, you can still taste the celeriac, the fondant potato with a touch of spice will be fantastic. I think what's really going to make this dish is going to be the spiced chickpea dressing. If there's some vinegar, some flavour running through there, scented with curry, I think it's going to be a great dish. It sounds delicious.
Chefs, you've had 15 minutes.
25-year-old head chef Victor had some timing issues in the last round, but he's been a strong competitor throughout.
I draw a lot of influence from my last head chef, Andrew Cole. He's my mentor. He helped me understand my palate a lot more, and he's done a lot for me. So when I do cook, I have him in the back of my head, kind of screaming at me and talking to me at the same time. I did almost have a change of heart, but once I start changing, I think that's when the problem starts. So I'm going to stick to my original plan. Pray, execute, and hope it goes well.
Victor's opted to use the poussin, and he's got a rub going on this poussin. Paprika, masala, cumin, coriander, delicious, and a nice selection of spices. He's also using the legs of the poussin, which is great to see. They're saffron poached, and then he's going to deep fry the little drumstick on there.
And I want it to keep the shape, so I'm just wrapping it in some cling film. Then I'm going to fry it, just so it brings another element of texture to the dish.
Got lentils with turmeric running through it, some pine nuts, and the burnt tomatoes covered in coriander oil. It sounds fantastic.
Poussin is a very, very delicate flavour. Putting all of these spices with it can work, but they need to be delicate, they need to work in harmony. I hope he cooks it well. Spices, what do you think about them?
Love spices, grew up with them, so this is somewhat of a comfort zone for me.
Who's supporting you at home? Who's flying the flag for Victor?
Everyone supported me. Mum was ecstatic when she told me to keep my chin up and do it.
Don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up. She said I didn't name you Victor for no reason, so.
Chefs, you've got 25 minutes left.
In spite of working at a hectic pace, development chef Philly has delivered tasty dishes inspired by her work in Michelin kitchens around the Far East.
My passion is Asian cuisine, however, I have experienced all sorts of different cuisines within my work, and I can adapt myself to different situations. I love creating dishes. It's my most favourite part of the job. I get to create every day, which is so exciting. I've chosen to do a pastry dish. I think it shows off some different skills, and I'm going to be using influence from India as well. I'm going to be using a chai tea latte ice cream, which I've got setting in the ice cream machine. Hopefully it's going to set in time.
So in the chai tea, you've got some cinnamon, you've got...
Cardamom, nutmeg, cinnamon, clove, star anise.
Brilliant.
And then I'm going to do a tart case with the cinnamon creme pat filling and then spiced apples.
You're the only one here that's brave enough to do a dessert.
Yeah, I've been memorising pastry recipes, so hopefully it's all good.
How's the pastry looking?
Yeah, it looks a little bit soft because the butter's a bit soft. Can I make it again?
OK.
I've only got 20 minutes.
Philly, you look like you've got a lot to get on with, so I'm going to leave you do that.
Thank you, Chef.
Philly is running around the kitchen at 1,000 miles an hour. There's 20 minutes left to go, and she's making a second batch of her pastry.
My one concern is Philly looks frantic, but we've seen her frantic in the kitchen. She has managed to deliver so far.
Sous chef Sammy has only been working as a chef for 5 years, but stood out in his heat with some delicately spiced plates.
Going into the invention test, I feel like I've got to enjoy it, because if you're not happy, you know, and you're stressed, you're not going to cook at your best. I'm just, you know, going for it, really, all guns blazing.
Tell me what dish you're making.
So it's a pan-roasted poussin with curried butternut squash puree. I'm doing a braised kale with cumin seeds, chopped masala carrots, and then it's going to just be finished with wild mushrooms. And then I'm just doing a light poussin sauce with star anise, a little bit of cinnamon and cloves. I'm just trying to get the balance of spice throughout the whole dish, but not trying to overpower the poussin.
Who's supporting you at home?
My fiance, Nicole, and my 2 little boys. Obviously, they don't know 100% what I'm doing, but trying to make them proud.
Sammy's going to make sure the cooking of the poussin is spot on. We want to taste chat masala through the carrots. We want to taste the cumin that he's using through the kale. And he's also got star anise running through his jus.
If he cooks it very well and he gets the spice flavours running through the dish beautifully well, then that's a winner. Right, chefs, you've got 13 minutes left. 13. The kitchen smells fantastic in here. You can smell all the different spices. Absolutely fantastic.
Philly, you didn't mention chocolate.
No, chef.
What's happened?
My pastry wasn't cold enough, so I'm doing a fondant.
So your tart cases are cooking,
Yes, they might be all right.
and if not, you've made,
And then I've made some fondants with salted caramel and cinnamon,
Right.
just in case.
just in case.
Wow, she'll be lucky to get a tart or a fondant up at this rate.
They look all right, the fondants.
You're going to have to make a decision. It's either the tart or the fondant. What's it going to be?
I don't know.
A little bit under, but I'm trying to fix a problem here.
You have 3 minutes left.
Philly,
Yes.
you need to make a decision.
I don't think they're ready. I can't do them. Yeah, they might be. Tart. My God. I'm gonna go with the fondant.
With 30 seconds left to go, you've changed your mind.
Yeah, sure. The tart cases aren't quite thin enough.
Final touches. You are rapidly running out of time. Sammy?
20 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, come on. Ice cream on, and that is it. That's it, chefs. Stop cooking. Stand back.
For his spice invention, Chef Patron Dave has pan-fried his pork loin in a spice paste made from curry powder, fenugreek, and cumin, which he also used to spice his potatoes, and served them with kale, toasted almonds, celeriac puree spiced with cumin, torched apple, onion rings, and a chickpea dressing made from turmeric, cumin, garam masala, cinnamon, and cardamom.
Dave, you've got beautiful textures and flavours running through the dish. And actually, I really think you've used the spices very, very well indeed. I love the glaze that you've put around the pork. And I could see all the little bits of residue in the pan. And then you cooked your potatoes back through the pan. I think that's worked an absolute treat. The chickpea dressing, you've got quite a few spices running through there, which is great. But the curry flavour does certainly come out into it. Lots of work again, beautifully presented. And without doubt, Dave, you certainly used the spices incredibly well.
Thank you, chef.
For me, the pork is cooked nicely, nice and pink. And then you've got the paste that you've coated it with, which is lovely. I love the sweetness of the apple. Works so well with the celeriac puree. That is delightful, that puree. It's smooth, it's creamy, and then the hint of cumin, wonderful. Beautiful use of spices throughout, fantastic. You know, it shows a lot of confidence here. There's a lot of work on this plate.
Thank you, chef.
Really nice, Ben.
Cheers.
Well done.
Thank you. I feel good. I think the judges saw I've got an understanding of spice. I really enjoyed that one.
Sous Chef Sammy's pan-fried roasted poussin has been served with butternut squash puree spiced with curry powder and chat masala roasted carrots, butternut squash cubes, star anise and cinnamon pickled red onions, cumin kale, lemon and coriander wild mushrooms, and a poussin sauce made with star anise, cinnamon and cloves.
For me, your poussin is just cooked. It hasn't dried out, which is nice, but lacks a bit of seasoning on there. I like the curried butternut squash puree underneath, and also the pickling of the onions, which, you know, works well. When you eat it all together, it's nice. It's not blowing me away. I think there could be a stronger use of the spices throughout this dish.
I thought you'd have done a little bit more work with the spice, with the poussin, maybe in a marinade or a rub, just bring it to life a little bit more. The sauce is nice. You've got your spice, your cinnamon clove and star anise. Everything is really well made, nicely made. But when it comes to a spice challenge, a spice invention test, it needs more body. I suppose it needs more energy.
You used cardamom and 5 spice in your last dishes. I thought you'd be more confident this time around.
Yeah, no, me too.
It's not a bad plate, but you know what we were looking for. Spice.
Obviously, you know, there was room for improvement, but that's what it's all about as a chef. It was just, I just held back. That was as simple as that. I didn't really, you know, give it some with the spice.
Head chef Victor used chili, masala, cumin and paprika to spice his poussin breast, and saffron for the deep-fried leg. They're accompanied by lentils and carrots, spiced with red and green chilies, turmeric, ginger and curry powder, burnt cherry tomatoes, sour cream, puffed rice, and a cardamom and cinnamon sauce.
Victor, your poussin breast is just right. You were very close to actually drying that out, and I'm glad you stopped where it was. The spice masala mix is there, but there's no heat coming through, so the poussin isn't lost. You can still taste it. It's quite a delicate meat. There's a bit of heat in the lentils, which is a nice surprise. The drumstick has a hit of saffron as well, and it's delightful. And then the light cinnamon that's running through that sauce. I like that you've not thrown lots of spices here, lots of spices. There's sort of individual spices throughout here that you're tasting as you eat. Really clever.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your presentation's a bit shabby, but you can work on that. You cook the poussin beautifully well. I like the point of difference with the saffron. And I think your sauce is absolutely sensational. There's just a lovely sweetness to it that complements the dish beautifully well. You've delivered a massive dish with huge flavour, tons of personality. It's a dish about spice, and you've ticked, without doubt, all the boxes.
Amazing. I feel amazing. I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to just call my mum. I did well. But yeah, I'm ecstatic.
Finally, it's development chef Philly with her last-minute chocolate fondant filled with cinnamon-flavoured salted caramel, served alongside caramelized pistachios, cinnamon creme pat, and an apple compote flavoured with star anise, cinnamon, clove, and cardamom, which were also used to spice her chai tea latte ice cream.
Have a plan and stick to it, because that was really tough to watch at times. I hope it tastes good.
So do I.
when you have less than 20 minutes left to go. I find it quite remarkable that you can pull a dessert off that can have that liquid centre cooked just right. It's quite remarkable. You have got the cinnamon running through the caramel, you've got the chocolate, it's very well made. And, of course, you've got the ice cream on the side that's delicious. It's got a lovely flavour to it, it's delicate, and it actually complements the chocolate very well.
Thank you, Chef.
And you've used the spices very well.
Philly, the fondant is, you know, it's just perfect. You can see it. You know, the caramel is still running, the inside's still running. You can taste the cardamom, the star anise and cinnamon through the ice cream. That is great. In saying that, you did go on and serve it with creme pat,
Oh, no.
stewed apple on the side, which doesn't work very well with the rest of this chocolate dessert. You know, that's the issue here. You can't let the stress, the pressure get the better of you, because clearly you've got skills, lady, yeah? So remember that and, you know, keep calm. Try.
Thank you, Chef.
Told you, you got it.
Ooh, I'm feeling all right. I'm a bit relieved that it's over. That could have gone awfully wrong for me. However, managed to pull it out of the bag somehow. And good feedback in the end. Just need to calm down.
Chefs, every time that you step into this kitchen, we want you to push yourselves and grow. And we've seen some of that today. Dave, that was pretty much a faultless plate of food you delivered today. Sammy, don't hold back. We've seen what you can do. You delivered fantastic plates of food in the signature round. Let's have some more of that.
Oui, chef.
Victor, you delivered on the spices that we were looking for in your dish, but you need to refine your presentation. We want to see some of that in the next round. Philly, there's no doubt that you're a talented chef. Make a plan, stick to it, and keep a clear head.
Chefs, we will be taking this round into account when we choose our semi-finalists. It's the critics round next. Take our feedback on board and come back stronger. Off you go. We've got 4 cracking chefs in this quarter-final. It was great to see them take up the challenge and deliver some very interesting food.
Well done, guys.
Well done, yeah, well done, everyone. Yeah,
Solid
good.
effort today, definitely.
Yeah, it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
There's an enormous amount of pressure on our chefs. They all want this so much. We know how much it means to them. I just can't wait to see who's got it.
Chefs, welcome back into the kitchen. We have 2 of the country's leading food critics waiting to taste your food. William Sitwell, and we have Jimi Famurewa.
At the end of this, 2 of you will be semi-finalists and 2 of you will be going home. 2 courses in 1 hour and 15 minutes. Show us what you're made of. Off you go.
I just like to cook what I like to eat. And add my spices. I feel like on the main course especially, I'm going back to my childhood from like when I was maybe like 10 years old. And that was the sort of dishes I was cooking, like a curry from scratch. And then my family and friends, you know, they'd come and eat and they would actually really enjoy it. And it's like, oh, have you tried Sammy's curry? Like, it was actually really nice. So the starter is a smoky chili beef tartare. So a different sort of play on the tartare. So it's basically got sour cream, peanuts, coriander, and nasturtium just to freshen it up, and some crispy shallot rings as well. It's a simple one, but I made the dressing So that's going to pack some big flavours into the beef.
Marcus and I, we love a good tartare. Absolutely.
No pressure then.
And what's your other course?
A pan-fried turbot with mussels, samphire, buttered leeks and grapefruit. It just gives it a little bit of freshness, a bit of pop. Puff wild rice to go on top of the turbot and a sauce mukla with shallots, garlic, curry powders and some ginger and just some curry leaves in there as well. These are 2 spice dishes. So, yeah, I'm not going to be laying back on the spice, but getting the balance at the same time. So, yeah, just hopefully need to nail it.
Great knife skills and perfect seasoning is the key to success of a great tartare. Really important that all the dice are beautifully cut and all of the same size. Then you've got to get the marinade into it. Adding spice into a tartare is fine, but it has to be in moderation. You do not want the spice to overtake the beautiful flavour of the beef.
Sammy's main course is turbot, one of my favourite fish. Got mussels, samphire, we've got cauliflower, and then a little bit of fresh grapefruit to cut through. He's serving it with a wonderful sauce McLeod, which is a curried mussel sauce. That would be a great complement to his turbot dish. Sammy's going to make sure we can taste the flavours of the curry and everything seasoned perfectly. I hope he's tasting throughout his cooking.
In this round, I say I'm feeling confident, but I don't want to jinx it. With these critics, if you muck up a tiny bit, they're going to be on the case. They can all destroy you with one stroke of the pen, so I just got to be on top of my game.
Dave loved the sound of his menu. Lobster with some garlic puree at the bottom of the plate with a little bit of melted lardo on top of it. Ooh. There's also caramelised burnt apple, finished with a tarragon oil and a salted crackling. Wow, that sounds sensational. Dave is cooking his lobster tail in goose fat in a sous vide bag. The water bath will keep it beautiful and tender, but with the goose fat seeping into it, it's just a beautiful marriage. Absolutely delicious.
Main course is beef and bone marrow. Oh, we've got parsley puree, very creamy mashed potato to go with it, finished with a wonderful red wine sauce. And snails, delicious. Snails need to be seared off in a nice hot pan, and then it'd be nice to have some chopped shallots, some garlic, and parsley running through it. This, to me, sounds delicious.
How much do you want that spot in our semi-finals?
Well, yeah, I need it, chef. You know, I've been cooking for 24 years, and I work my socks off every day. I never moan. You know what I mean? I've got my own restaurant. You don't get paid very much to get in your own restaurant. Everyone thinks you're loaded. Yeah, if I get through, I'll be so happy.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Getting on fine. Cooking for critics, cooking for judges, and trying to stay in the competition. So, fun. Sticking around is top of my priority right now. Knowing that you have a lot riding on this, it's overwhelming. But I don't want to think about the competition aspect too much. I want to think about just cooking great food, which is what you're meant to do as a chef anyway.
Victor, how are you feeling?
Excited, ready to do this. I've got this dish practiced, and I'm confident in the flavors as well. I'm doing a watercress risotto as a starter with broad beans and peas, pickled Thai shallots and horseradish cream. And for the main course, I'm doing beef sirloin with textures of onions, so onion puree, roasted Roscoff onions, and a smoked onion oil. Also, I'm going to be doing crispy anchovies and bonito jus.
Wow, I like the sound of your dishes, Victor. As always, packed full of flavour, I'm sure, but that presentation is something to think about.
The presentation today is going to be a lot better. It's going to be cleaner and more refined.
Good man. Risotto, tough thing to get right in any kitchen. You want the risotto to be beautiful and rich, and you want the grains perfectly cooked. Horseradish cream, great addition. That'll bring a little bit of heat. Really want the watercress flavour to become singing through this, so I hope he's making a watercress puree that is going to monte into the risotto at the end.
Victor's beef sirloin dish, medium rare. Yes, please. It's got textures of different onions. It's a puree. We've got confit baby leeks. And then there's crispy anchovies and a bonito jus. So there'll be a bit of saltiness running through this. I love the sound of this menu. I love the bravery that Victor is starting to show off in his cooking.
So today I'm going to be cooking a lamb tartare. It's zhenjiang lamb tartare. So it's the flavours of northern China. That's going to be dressed in Chinese black vinegar, which has just been reduced, and then split with a chu chow chili oil. On top, there's going to be a tahini and soy sauce with some fermented black beans and crispy shallots.
And tartare, is that something they enjoy in northern China?
No, so they would be using the flavours in a kebab, so on a skewer. However, I thought to make it a bit more refined and elegant, I would make it into a tartare.
Brilliant.
For my main, I'm going to be doing my take on Korean fried chicken. So I'm doing sesame and kombu crusted chicken breast with Korean fried chicken nuggets in a sweet gochujang glaze with a shiitake and sake sauce and kimchi fried rice.
Nice. Love a good fried rice.
Yeah.
Listen, these are exciting sounding dishes.
Thank you, Chef.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yes, Chef.
Are we in control this time?
Yes, I've got a time plan and I've got it planned out minute by minute.
That's what we want to see.
Thank you, Chef.
We now have the second tartare of the day coming from Philly. We have a lamb tartare. Very different to a beef tartare. Lamb is a delicate flavour. We've got two sauces or two dressings. We've got one that's hot and garlicky, and we've got one that is soya and salty. We've also got a bit of tahini in the dish as well, which is a bit nutty, a bit sesame. Will all these flavours work together? I'm not sure.
I'm really intrigued by the sounds of Philly's take on a Korean chicken. So she's putting a crust of her chicken with sesame and kombu. Kombu being a dried form of seaweed to bring a bit of saltiness to the dish. Yeah, I can see how that works. And then Korean fried chicken nuggets to go with it. Sweet gochujang. Gochujang is a beautiful chili paste. She's going to use that for a glaze. Kimchi fried rice and a sake and shiitake sauce. Philly has given herself a lot of work. She looks controlled, though, compared to when we last saw her. She's got a plan and she's sticking to it. And that's exactly what she's got to do here today.
I'm definitely pushing myself. It's a lot to get on, but I'm going to be working efficiently and organised, and I'm going to make it happen somehow.
It's been an incredibly difficult time for people in the hospitality industry. The chefs who I'm about to judge will have themselves, many been on furlough, some worrying about their own businesses. There's hope, but it's a very tough ride. And it's a particularly tough ride if you decide that part of your journey is going to be on MasterChef.
One of the things that really impresses me is when somebody can marry that technique and that impressive kind of how did they do that witchcraft with the pure joy and pleasure of eating. What's going to kind of get you scraping the plate, basically, and sort of begging for more. So that's what I'm looking for. Is this table all right? It's all they had.
Is that all they had? Have they not got a larger one?
Sammy, you got 3 minutes left. Are you on time?
Yep, I'm going to be just in time.
So tartare's good? It's all seasoned?
Yeah, seasoned, ready to go.
You get very hot chili beef, but chili in a tartare, I think, is a bit more unusual. You get a bit of spice in it,
Yeah.
but he's really going to invigorate it.
I like the idea of the crispy shallots as well, to get a bit of texture in there. What's he going to do with those peanuts? Are they going to be sort of toasted slightly? Is it going to be like a very fine crumb?
You happy?
Yeah, I'm fairly happy. I think the flavours are there.
So let's go.
Right.
Hello.
So I've got a starter of smoky chili beef tartare with crispy shallots, and then we've got peanuts roasted, sour cream for a bit of freshness, and we've just got some picked leaves of coriander and nasturtium.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The spicing is pretty good, pretty good. There's some real sort of depth and layered chili heat.
There's something really appetizing about that, and that immediate hit and the smokiness. The problem is, it overwhelms the steak tartare.
The crispy shallots are done really beautifully, and they give you a lovely little bit of crunch, which is much needed. It's just unfortunate that it kind of doesn't quite hang together.
I'm disappointed by this because it had a lot of promise and ingenuity,
Yeah.
but it's mediocre.
The tartare, I quite like the texture of the way it's been cut. You can definitely get the heat and the warmth from the chilies that he's used. It's a shame it needs a couple of pinches of salt throughout this.
I like the crispy shallots. I think you should have chopped the peanuts down. They're too big and they don't really bring anything to the table. Right, Sammy, you have 15 minutes to get your main course out. Have you got a lot left to do?
It's just obviously I need to cook the fish, blitz the sauce.
There's some quite classic combinations there. The pan-roasted turbot with the mussels and the samphire. That bit I'm pretty relaxed about. Then he's shaving his cauliflower. His cauliflower's been on lockdown. It's got a beard.
Fish OK?
Yep, I'm gonna just flash it in the oven for like 1 minute.
He's thrown everything at it in terms of textures and tastes and tartness and salt. I'm intrigued to see whether he can bring it all together.
That is your time up.
Oh, chef. Oh, I stuck to the pan.
Be gentle with that, Sammy.
Let's go. Sauce in the pots. Pick your best 2 plates and go.
So we've got pan-fried turbot, a bit of samphire on the base, lightly roasted cauliflower florets, pink grapefruit, mussels, and we've got the sauce muklat.
And your shaved cauliflower?
Yeah, I just don't think it needed it, and time goes so quick in that kitchen.
Thanks, Sammy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well done, mate.
Cheers. What a rush, that's for sure. I felt like I was gonna potentially crumble down and, you know, and give up, but I got through it, I didn't give up, and yeah, I'm fairly pleased with it.
The turbot is cooked quite nicely. There's butter seeping off it. It's got that lovely colour on it, drawing you in. The cauliflower was basically raw, kind of very lightly seared on one side. The mussels, the samphire, they're not doing a huge amount.
There's no puff rice, there's no shaved cauliflower, there's no buttered leeks. And I don't want to eat grapefruit dipped in curry sauce. This is a sort of tragedy in about 8 acts, and a performance in which several of the actors didn't even turn up.
The fish is cooked OK, but it is a little bit on the dry side when you start to eat it. It's almost too crunchy.
The grapefruit, when you eat it with the mussels, is a bit odd. I'm not sure what happened here with Sammy. He just seemed to lose all confidence nearing the end there.
I like the sort of food that Dave's doing. The idea of a poached lobster tail with lardo, you know, putting on some good old fat, a garlic emulsion to give it some bite, burnt apple, tarragon oil and salted crackling. That, to me, is a dreamy starter.
Dave, what's that sticking out the top of your lobster?
It's tarragon oil, chef.
What's it in?
It's a little pipette.
Combinations there that feel both sophisticated but absolutely the sort of thing you want to eat.
Are you ready to go?
Good to go, chef.
Brilliant. And you're on time.
Very nice. Looks good.
For his starter, Dave is serving poached lobster tail with lardo, burnt apple, garlic emulsion, salted crackling, apple blossom, and tarragon oil.
This is how food should look.
There's a real visual pop to it with those flower blossoms.
The lobster is cooked to perfection, and the accompaniment of the little pale crackling was a real gift.
The puree is beautifully done. Those flowers, not just decorative, they do kind of give it a little pop of sweetness and freshness. And the tarragon oil is pretty potent as well. That's not just there to make things look ready for Instagram.
This is a terrific dish.
Beautifully cooked lobster. I personally love the garlic emulsion underneath it. It's delightful. The lardo's but salty on there. It works so well. And then the little sweetness from the apple.
This is a lobster heaven. It's elegant, it's delightful, it's absolutely sensational piece of cookery.
Dave's main course, beef fillet cooked in bone marrow. Bone marrow, that beautiful, sweet fat, and a snail and a crispy onion.
There's real gutsiness to it, and it's kind of balancing with a bit of elegance with the pom puree and the parsley puree.
Dave, couple of minutes left. How's the beef looking?
Perfect, chef.
This is just such a delicious array of ingredients. If Dave screws it up, I'm going to hate him.
So that's your sauce with the snails in, yeah?
Oui, chef.
It's just your herbs and you're good to go?
Oui, chef.
All right.
My second course is fillet of beef cooked in bone marrow, garlic pom puree, crispy onions, parsley puree, spinach, pancetta, bone marrow, snail sauce. Hope you enjoy your meal. Thank you.
Cheers, Dave. Nice one, mate.
It was a mission, but it's probably one of the best things I've done in my career cooking for them, as long as they don't hammer me.
On looks alone, Dave's knocked it out of the park again. The beef, for me, is cooked beautifully, it's rested really well. Your knife goes through it like a knife through butter.
That marrow, it's so sweet and succulent. And the snails, they're not easy to cook. They're not chewy.
The pom puree is lovely and silky. There's the surprise of those crispy onions. Everything on here is an absolute joy.
This is one of the reasons why we like to do what we do.
The beef is beautifully cooked. The snails are nice and earthy, got a lovely bite to them.
The mashed potato is beautiful. It's creamy and buttery, how it should be. And I really like the textures of the crispy onions on here as well. This is a chef who knows what he's doing.
Victor, 2 minutes left.
Yes, chef.
How are we looking?
I'm plating up now, chef.
Risotto's cooked?
Risotto is cooked.
Now, if he does this well, it's a phenomenal dish. If the risotto is cooked just right. If his peas and broad beans are al dente enough so you can almost sense and taste the garden that they came from.
So you got the little onions on there.
Yep.
What's missing?
Watercress and then the horseradish.
The heat from that horseradish cream is something that I'd be looking to kind of really present itself full-throatedly and like with a real sort of gutsiness.
You're shaking a bit there, Victor.
Yeah,
Nervous?
a little bit.
Time is now up. Last bit to garnish on and off you go. Stop making him so nervous.
Sorry.
Oh, hello.
Sorry.
They didn't like it?
You forgot the Parmesan crisps?
Yes, I did, chef.
Right, second time lucky.
Second time the charm.
You stop making him nervous. He forgot his Parmesan.
Hi.
Aye.
Here you have a watercress risotto with pickled Thai shallots, peas and broad beans, and Parmesan crisp with a horseradish cream on top.
Great stuff, well done. I feel like I've just had my nose cleared for me. That has got a real horseradish kick, which I appreciate, to be honest. It was kind of quite a surprise. The risotto is cooked bang on for me, like it's still a lot of bite to the rice.
And then also that the vegetables are still, al dente enough so you can really taste them, really taste the freshness. I think the use of watercress is really clever because it does have a distinct flavour. It has a bit of pepperiness actually to it, but he needs to go easy on the horseradish.
Woo! I'll have to strip off.
Yeah.
You can really taste the watercress through this risotto. I don't mind the heat. I can take it, you know, so I quite like that. And I find it that the horseradish with the parmesan is a delight to enjoy together.
We know Victor packs flavour into his cookery, and he's certainly done that here. And he's certainly improved his presentation as well.
Victor loves his onions, but whether he knows his onions is what we will come to decide.
And also, can you cook beef sirloin? Are we going to have some tender pinkness there? Is he spending so much time with his onions that he's forgotten how to cook meat?
Victor?
Yes, chef.
You've got 60 seconds.
Yes, chef.
Is that the anchovy?
Yes, chef.
Let's go. Let's go. Well done.
Victor's main course is beef sirloin served with onion puree, Roscoff onions, confit baby leeks, deep-fried anchovies, smoked onion oil, and a jus made from bonito tuna flakes.
I think the beef is cooked really well. Well rested, lovely and pink in the middle, and he does know his onions. And he has really made a distinction between them.
The onion puree, I think, is the underdog on the plate. It's got a fantastic sweetness that works really well with the intense salt that's happening elsewhere. The bonito jus is lovely. It's definitely got that kind of marine fishiness coming through.
Also, anchovies, deep fried in breadcrumbs. They're a really naughty little additional textured, salty extra. Really clever.
Beautifully presented main course from Victor. We're perfectly cooked sirloin. The leeks are beautifully cooked, and the bonito sauce is quite neutral, you know, and it works very well with the flavours of onions on this plate.
I love the deep-fried anchovy. They bring a lovely saltiness to this dish. Good cookery, well thought out, beautifully executed. I think he's done a really good job.
The pressure is unreal. I welcome the pressure, really. I just need to cope with it a little bit.
Right, Billy, how are we getting on with the tartare?
Just seasoning it last minute, just before it's served. I don't want to over-cure it, and adding all the flavourings.
There's so many interesting things here, and I love the idea of taking something like a tartare and throwing it into this new environment.
With, I hope, all these amazing flavours. The heat from the chili oil and the fermented black beans and some crunch from the shallots.
Right, Philly, the time is due.
I think it's a very intriguing dish. I'm excited by it, actually.
Off you go.
Yeah, sure.
Good job. She didn't have to put a lot of work into that. Let's hope it tastes as good as it looks.
Philly's starter is Xinjiang lamb tartare with Chinese black vinegar, Chuchao chili oil, tahini soy sauce, fermented black beans, and crispy shallots.
That's so good. The chili oil has got like real punch and it really hits you. The black vinegar gives you this nicely balanced kind of astringent acidity. I was a bit unsure about tahini soy sauce, but that works fantastically. It's got richness and creaminess.
Here, the raw lamb is still the hero, no matter what the accompanying chilies and beans and soys and other sauces are thrown at it. And it's incredibly Moorish. And I think that's just astonishingly good.
The tartare, the lamb's beautifully diced, and there's so many interesting flavours going on here. There's the warmth from the raw ginger running through it, and then there's a bit of sweetness.
I like the black beans that are on top. They taste great, and I love the puree, which is the tahini and soy. It's got a lovely flavour to it because the tahini brings a mellowness to it. There's a lot of work gone into this dish.
I absolutely love the sound of this. I'm a huge fan of Korean food. Kimchi is a huge, huge love of mine. And Korean chicken has that intense crispness, and it's kind of like a double-dredged, real rugged fry to it. And so I'll be looking to see that she has kind of pulled that off.
Couple of minutes left. What have you got left?
Carving and plating up.
Is that undercooked?
It needs a second. This one's cooked.
There's a lot going on. I'm really excited to see what this plate looks like, and also to see some finesse on it.
Philly, your time is up.
Yes, chef.
How are the other 2 chicken breasts?
Yeah, we're there.
You're really pushing it here now. Philly, we've got to go.
Yes, chef.
Hello again. Wow.
So I've done my take on Korean fried chicken. I've got a chicken breast that is crusted in sesame and kombu, king oyster mushroom, and then Korean fried chicken nuggets in gochujang sweet glaze. And then on the side, you have kimchi fried rice with some pickled chimichurri mushrooms and a few cornflowers. The sauce is shiitake and sake sauce. Dirty food refined.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Philly.
I'm kind of no, I don't know. I'm feeling all right. I don't know. I like these dishes, but they're not typical restaurant dishes. So I don't know if it's too different.
The fried chicken nuggets are absolutely the way you want Korean fried chicken to be. You know, there was audible crunch on those. And then you've got that sticky sauce on top, which has got real heat, but real sweetness as well.
And it then brings you to that piece of chicken. The skin isn't crisp enough, and it's out of proportion with everything else. But that doesn't detract from the fantastic sauce.
It's so clever. It's got the kind of pure essence of like a shiitake mushroom, and she's managed to really distill it and intensify it.
The kimchi fried rice, it's got the pungent acidity of the fermented cabbage, and it balances quite well with that rice.
She can do things in terms of flavour that other chefs cannot.
The chicken is nicely cooked, it's soft. I like little spices running on top. The sauce with the sake and shiitake, that's nice. It's got a nice texture to it, nice colour, nice flavour.
The fried rice is nice. I like my fried rice with a bit more of a bite to it, but I do love the Korean fried chicken. It's crispy, and then she's tossed it in that sweet chili sauce, and it's just so delicious. I could have a bowl of them.
Cooking for the Critics is without doubt always been one of the toughest days in the MasterChef kitchen for our chefs, and I thought all 4 of them gave it everything.
Next up, Marcus, it's our semi-finals. We can only take our best chefs through.
Dave did a great job today, absolutely nailed it in so many areas. I thought that his lobster dish, without doubt, was the dish of the day. I couldn't get enough of it.
Dave also delivered a fantastic invention test with the pork. Dave's definitely earned himself a place in the semi-finals.
Sammy wanted to come into the kitchen today and really hit us with some big flavours. He didn't get that right in the invention test, he wasn't quite there, and he didn't quite hit the mark today either.
It's a real shame that Sammy didn't deliver on his food today. I am disappointed for him. Victor's invention test was packed full of flavour, but we wanted some refinement in his presentation. He definitely delivered that for us today.
He certainly did. He'd taken his food up to another level, and that's just what we asked him to do.
During the invention test, Philly set out to make us a tart. In the last few minutes, she made a fondant, and thank goodness it worked out. She had a point to prove in the kitchen today, and it was good. She came in here with a plan and stuck to it.
The critics loved Philly's tartare. They absolutely adored it. Philly had some interesting ideas today. Wow, did she push the boat out? The question is, do we take a punt on Philly or Victor?
To be honest, it just feels like the journey's just begun, so it'd be a bit hard to be cut short. And I've got so many more ideas to show.
I need that place in the semi-finals. I can't dilute it. I need that space in the semi-finals, so just wait and see.
All 4 of you came in this kitchen today and worked your socks off. You gave it 100%, and that is all we ask. Well done.
Dave, today you had a cracking round. Congratulations, you are through to the semi-finals. Sammy, unfortunately, it's the end of the road for you.
It's okay.
Thank you so much.
No worries. It's been a pleasure.
Victor and Philly, there was a lot to discuss on both tests. We've made a decision, and you are both going through to the semi-finals.
Oh my God. Obviously, it wasn't meant to be. I mean, either way, I'm proud of myself. So yeah, I just need to reflect on it and move forward. So yeah.
I'm a semi-finalist. That's ridiculous. Oof. Just to compete with the other chefs, everyone is so talented here, and for the guys to actually think that my food is good, I think that's just so amazing feeling.
It looks so easy on TV, but you come in and do it, and you're like, God, blimey. It's hard. So, yeah, it's a massive achievement, and I'm ecstatic to go through.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Honestly, I don't know what to say, but God damn. Wow, I'm over the moon, honestly. Bring on the semi-finals. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Next time, 4 more professionals fight for their place in the quarter-finals.
That compot's not cold. That cream is going to melt.
You go ant hunting, do you? Sometimes I do, yeah.
It's light, it's delicate, it's just right. Wow.